Here's your wrestling news for October 12th, 2022. And we're kicking off today with WWE NXT, as Mandy Rose was absent from this week's show, as she is mourning the loss of her brother, but Toxic Attraction still made their presence felt on the show. On the show, Alba Fire faced off against Jacy Jayne and made quick work of the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, but her celebration was short-lived. As she was heading back, a hooded figure in the crowd attacked Fire, later revealed to be none other than Sonya Deville. Deville's attack on Fire continued, and alongside Jayne and Gigi Dolan, the trio engaged in a triple powerbomb through the announce table. When asked about her actions backstage, Deville said that while she may have her differences with Rose, alluding to their 2020 feud, the two are still best friends, and she'll be waiting for Alba Fire next week. It looks like Deville will be taking Rose's place in Toxic Attraction, at least for the time being, in what was a huge surprise on last night's episode of NXT. After Deville's appearance, WWE wasted no time in announcing that Deville will be back on next week's NXT to face Fire, but that's not all that's in store. It's also been announced that Channing Stax Lorenzo will face the opponent of Tony D'Angelo's choosing next week, after D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo had a backstage segment on NXT. We'll have to see who Stax ends up facing, as the momentum towards Halloween Havoc shows no signs of slowing down. Since returning to WWE at Extreme Rules, little has been revealed about what the future holds for Bray Wyatt. The only thing WWE has told fans for certain is that Wyatt will be on this Friday's episode of Smackdown, and fans should expect more of him on the Blue brand. According to PW Insider, Wyatt is listed internally as a SmackDown superstar, and his arrival on Team Blue means a feud with undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns seems likely. As for WWE's other big return of this past week, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are said to be staying on Raw after returning on this week's episode to aid AJ Styles. Plenty has changed in WWE over the past few days, and Wyatt's return is a huge win, and we'll hopefully find out more on this Friday's SmackDown. We know that Wyatt will be on SmackDown, where he'll no doubt earn a thunderous ovation from fans, but WWE is still unsure what will come next. According to Zero News, Wyatt is not listed on the internal heel or face lists, making it unclear what role he'll be filling going forward. The ovation Bray received at Extreme Rules certainly makes a babyface role seem likely, but WWE has been without a monster heel for quite some time. While Wyatt's future role with WWE remains unclear, WWE has made changes to their heel-face internal rosters, and Ronda Rousey is now officially a heel. This move was rather obvious given how Rousey has acted in recent weeks, and now she's a fully fledged villain on SmackDown. As for Wyatt, his return was certainly epic and something fans had been wanting to see for a long time, but now WWE needs to decide what exactly they'll do with the former Universal Champion. During this week's Raw, Brock Lesnar returned and reignited his feud with Bobby Lashley, decimating the Almighty prior to his United States title defense with Seth Rollins. This return will likely see the two face off at Crown Jewel next month, but this match hasn't entirely been made by WWE's creative team. According to sources, it was Lashley who worked hard backstage to get the match after not being happy with how the WWE has been booking his title feuds. The now former US Champion's issue was that he has not been booked strongly, even being pushed to the limit by Mustafa Ali the other week, a superstar many feel Lashley should have squashed easily. Taking his frustrations to WWE's head of talent Triple H, the two are said to have had a long conversation, which resulted in the Lashley-Lesnar match being made. Lesnar and Lashley have faced off once before, competing at the 2022 Royal Rumble, but this match wasn't up to the expectations Bobby had. Lashley returned to WWE in 2018 with the goal to have a match with Brock, but in the end, Lashley was an afterthought in this match. Instead of the war Lashley had wanted, his performance was overshadowed by the interference from Roman Reigns, who cost Brock the WWE title, as well as Paul Heyman, who turned on the Beast incarnate. The match that Lashley returned to WWE for was ultimately not a match about him, but instead just another chapter of the Lesnar-Reigns feud, something that didn't sit right with the Almighty. As if that wasn't bad enough, Lesnar even made reference to Lashley being a non-factor in the feud, asking, "Bobby who?" during an episode of Raw. Lashley's second WWE title reign did technically end at the hands of Lesnar, but the two did not interact at the Elimination Chamber since Lashley was removed early in the match due to an injury. Now, Lesnar and Lashley will finally have a match, free from titles and tribal chiefs, but who do you think should win and why? Earlier this year, it looked like Mustafa Ali's time with WWE was over as he requested his release, which was promptly denied. Ali has since returned to WWE programming, but hasn't been used much, and in a social media video, expressed his frustrations with the company. I heard something the other day and it really hit me, and it goes, if I always do what I've always done, then I'll always be where I've always been. And the reason that it hit me is because I'm done. I'm done being here. I'm done being where I've always been. Everyone keeps asking me, why did I pick a fight with Bobby Lashley? Why don't I just stay down? And listen, as complicated as it gets up over here, I promise you the answer is simple. It's just done. I'm done standing in line and waiting for my number to get called. A number that we know was never going to get called in the first place. I'm done being the victim. I'm done blaming other people. I am done complaining about what I don't have. I'm done not fighting. I'm done with it. I gotta fight. It is on me. This is World War Me. And yes, sure, there might be someone in front of me, someone slamming the door in my face, but it's on me to kick that door down. It's always been on me. Ali once again made it clear that he is tired of waiting for an opportunity and added that he has to be a little insane to make his dreams come true. Not only did Ali share this video, but he also targeted WWE's director of WWE Network documentaries, Joey Maloney, so it's likely the video was uploaded with the company's permission. Whatever WWE or Ali have planned, they're going about it in a unique way, and what do you make to this? Let us know in the comments below. We mentioned earlier that Mandy Rose was not present during this week's episode of NXT, and that is sadly due to the death of her brother Richie. Now Rose has given a brief statement in which she thanks all those who have paid their respects, saying that the last few days have not been easy for her or her family. Rose may be the NXT Women's Champion, but her family and her own well-being come first at this time, and we're wishing her the best at this sad time. In WWE, Sami Zayn has become one of the more popular stars this year, with his antics as part of the bloodline getting him a huge pop each time he's on screen. This week's Raw was no exception, as he once again got under the skin of Jey Uso, but it's not just those associated with WWE who have been impressed by the honorary Uso. Speaking to Sam Roberts on the Not Sam podcast, AEW's MJF couldn't help but show his admiration for Sami, who he believes is next level in WWE. I think Sami Zayn is one of the most entertaining professional wrestlers on the planet and has been for a very long time. He hasn't always had the platform and the opportunity to show the world that. I feel now that he is getting that platform, it's becoming more clear than ever was that he's next level. Sami may be the honorary Uso, but the tensions are clearly there between him and Jey Uso, so it remains to be seen just how long the three-time former Intercontinental Champion remains as part of the bloodline. Now, it was this time last week that Andrade El Idolo picked a fight with Sammy Guevara, resulting in the former NXT Champion being sent home. The one-sided fight took place after the two had gone back and forth on social media, but since then, Guevara has been surprisingly quiet about what transpired. In his most recent vlog, Guevara only addressed the fight with Andrade at the very end of the video, saying he's done focusing on negativity. The former TNT champion went on to say that, "When you're on this trajectory to where I'm heading, there's going to be people that are going to do everything in their power to drag you down." Guevara wisely chose not to fight back during the altercation with Andrade, and therefore was not sent home like El Idolo, but instead got to headline that week's 3-year anniversary episode of Dynamite. There's been no confirmation about what Tony Khan will do with Andrade, who is reportedly trying to get fired from AEW to return to WWE, but whatever happens, Guevara is focused on his budding wrestling career and finished with backstage drama. Last year, WWE re-signed Davey Boy Smith Jr., but released the son of the British Bulldog after just one dark match. Despite this, Smith's passion for wrestling has been undeterred, and he is now set to make his return to MLW. It's been confirmed that Smith will return for MLW Fightland 22 on October 30th at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, which fans know as the old stomping ground of the original ECW. Despite his short WWE run, Smith has expressed a desire to return to WWE for what would be a third run, but before that happens, he's looking to make an impact once more in Major League Wrestling. And we're ending today with Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, who were once the closest of friends and are now bitter rivals. During last night's NXT, Jade berated her former tag team partner, claiming Perez has no friends in a scathing interview segment with Mackenzie Mitchell. The two will pick each other's opponents prior to the Weapons Wild match at Halloween Havoc, and it was confirmed that Perez will be on this week's Smackdown to find an opponent for Jade. As for Jade, she later said on last night's NXT that her pick for Perez is coming from Raw, as she's choosing former NXT Women's Champion and current Judgment Day member Rhea Ripley. We'll have to see who Perez ends up picking, but it looks like someone from SmackDown will make their presence known at next week's NXT. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.